Welcome back, Nick Lenz. Movie review, episode number 96. You're probably thinking, wait, you just uploaded one today already. That was on recording yesterday. I did not get a chance to upload last night because it got pretty late. So yeah, this one I'm reviewing another movie I really love. A movie I loved since I was a little kid. This movie is Space Jam. Yep, a movie that's getting a sequel soon. Yep, released back in 1996. And yes, that's our Michael Jordan, yes, the basketball player with the Looney Tunes. And yes, I do know that Nostalgia Critic has reviewed this damn thing already. Yep. The film starts out with a young Michael Jordan shooting hoops at about 2 o'clock in the morning. Actually, more like 1 o'clock in the morning. And his father basically telling him to take the time to go to bed. He's surprised, like, why the heck is he up this late shooting baskets? And because he wants to try out, wants to become a basketball player, which he does do in the future. Okay, he was like try baseball, and that's a real man's sport. And he does eventually do that too. And he says, okay, one more hoop before I go to bed. Okay. So he does up, and he becomes a. And we jump ahead to present day where he's a big basketball star. Now, in the beginning, we have the song I Believe I Can Fly. It's from the Space Jam soundtrack. And then we cut to the opening titles, which are probably one of the best opening titles you see for a movie. Because you have the actual title song Space Jam played over it. And basically a montage of Michael Jordan in college, his time as a basketball player, wearing number 23. Yep, and then it finishes up with him at a press conference saying he's going to retire and become a baseball player. Which that's what he did in real life, by the way. Yeah, he retired and became a baseball player. The guy recently was the owner of the Washington Wizards, of all things. Yes. Who he also briefly played for. I believe that, well, he did eventually go back to playing basketball later on. So, he retires, and then we cut to and then we go straight off into space with this guy. With this mobster guy who runs this alien theme park, which apparently isn't doing too well. Let's see, what's the character's name who runs this place? Mr. Swackhammer, played by Danny DeVito. Yes, Danny DeVito plays this guy, and he wants to do something new. And of course, the Looney Tunes get his attention. So, pretty much we cut to the Looney Tunes doing the usual stick of like Elmer Fudd chasing Bugs Bunny, and of course we also have Michael Jordan playing golf. It's like, and of course they have and then basically, yeah, we're going to take you on. Like, nah, screw it. So what do these 5 monsters do? Go to basketball games. Yep, and they steal the powers of Charles Barkley, Sean Brady, Patrick Ewing, Larry Johnson, and Muggsy Briggs. I believe that Muggsy Briggs is a short guy. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he's like the shortest one out of like all of them. Yep, so after stealing their talents per se, yeah, this is not really possible. Yeah, and apparently transfers on to a basketball. Okay, so they go down and they basically beat up the Looney Tunes in a way, get spooked by them, and of course they turn into monstars, basically big hulking basketball players. Yep, so Looney Tunes need help. So who they contact? Michael Jordan, of all things, which they kind of have him like where he plays golf. He gets in the hole. It's like, okay, and then he gets sort of wrapped up by Yosemite Sam's like lasso and pulled straight down a golf hole. in the middle of the world of Looney Tunes. And you see him saying Sam afterward just rolling up his rope. I thought that was so funny. And of course, you have the cartoon thing of like a bird's like, Tweety Bird, you're not Tweety Bird. And of course, sees Bugs Bunny. And of course, there's a joke about inside of his ear. It's got like a paper clip in there. And of course, Daffy Duck's there. It's like, Bugs Bunny, you're a cartoon out here. It's like, if I was going to do this. And of course, he kisses him right on the lips. He's like, blah. And then all the rest of the Looney Tunes show up. It's like, Krusty helps. Like, okay. And then, like, they go to their gym. And of course, I should point out, though, Michael Jordan is walking in this place wearing a polo shirt, dress pants, and one shoe. Yeah, his other shoe got left behind. I'm not sure why this is, and no one points this out. So it's like points this gym. It's like, which has like almost like a high school basketball gym, but it's like a mess. So all the Looney Tunes start spitting on the floor. So we spit check, and they all spit on the floor, and then you have the Tasmanian Devil just spinning around, cleaning the pace up really quickly, and of course you have him finish up. You know, this guy speaks gibberish a lot of the time. He says, "Lemony fresh." He's like, "Wow, you guys cleaned up." Yep, I thought this was so funny. Of course, they all tried out. Of course, he got a chance to shoot basketball because he hadn't done the one. So I think he's a baseball player now. And of course, well, he meets the Monstars, and he's standing by them. So he accepts their challenge. So he basically gets them all into shape. And of course, he needs his basketball clothes. Okay, so you need to. Yeah, Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck go to the real world where they break into Michael Jordan's house, by the way. Now, this is the second time in the movie that his house has been seen. The first time was when Wayne Knight brought him home and commented how nice his house is. It does look pretty nice for a guy who's basically a retired basketball player. And he is, well, currently a baseball player. And of course, then he got first person to come and tackle him was his dog. And his kids got happy to see him. And of course, well, his wife, I don't know if this is real life wife, and I have no idea. And of course, she'll like talk about various different things that parents probably talk about, like kids having sleepovers, stuff like that. Yeah, great thing. And next time it's seen, well, we have Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck just sneak right into the house, which I think is so hilarious. Two cartoon characters sneak into a house basically housed by humans. Yep. And of course they joke about his shorts and Jordan is like, "Hey, I wash those after every game." Yeah, he's like, "Sure." And they get his stuff, and of course they also get his shoes, which I think is so hilarious. And of course chased by the dog. And lucky enough, Michael Jordan's kid just happened to be up at that sheer coincidence, a sheer moment. Though for some reason his wake up is smoking hot white for some reason. I don't know why, it's so funny. And then it's like, here you go, Bugs. Of course, his kids, like, apparently the kids know who exactly Bugs Bunny is because the thing is, they watch his cartoon. So at least he knows who he is. It's like, hey, need help with basketball? Like, yeah. And of course, the kids are not seen again to the end of the movie. So he gets his stuff, and of course, you also see Wayne Knight, where he digs up the hole which Michael Jordan fell through. So then he's like, of course, it's like, first it's like, fix the divot. It's like, okay, he's fixing the divot. Of course, he's like digging a hole in the middle of an actual hole. And of course, he gets apparently he's working out for freaking hours, where he's like dig a gigantic ditch in the middle of a hole. And apparently no one has noticed this, not even the owner of the club, basically, probably either the club or probably resort that owns this place. And then he basically sort of gives up. And then he sees Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck just lift up on top of a golf pole, and of course they go right down the hole. And then Wayne Knight just follows him in. Yep, and I think it's so funny. We also have cameos here by Bill Murray and Larry Bird. Yes, Bill Murray is in this movie. Yes, he plays like an old friend of Michael Jordan, basically his golf buddy, which is so hilarious. Yep. And he eventually gets his stuff back, and of course he shoots a basket. He's so good. Of course they all train, and then of course they come to the actual basketball game. Yep. And then of course comes like a big megastar of it. It's almost like it's promoted as like the biggest, like almost like a big wrestling match. And of course Then they have the introductions of, and of course, while they're trying to get used to the beautiful Lola Bunny, who becomes Bugs Bunny's love interest in the movie. Yes, Lola Bunny, who in another cartoon, Lola is the one obsessed with him, not the other way around like in this movie. And then, of course, well, then you have the introduction of all the players, like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Elmer Fudd, Yosemite Sam, Foghorn Leghorn, the Tasmanian Devil, Lola Bunny, which all the male cartoon characters are just basically doing the whistling thing because it's a smoking hot woman playing basketball. And then we have now Bugs is introduced as the co-captain in the team. The other co-captain, of course, Michael Jordan, and he gets a big standing ovation. And then last but not least, he gets used to the Monstars from Moron Mountain. Oh yeah, and here's the thing: the ref of this basketball game is Marvin the Martian. That's not a joke. Yes, Marvin the Martian, which I think is so hilarious. Yep, and then of course we have like the Monstars shoot like multiple like hoops in this actual game, and it's just like, hey, let's have some fun. Let's have it where where you have like Yosemite Sam and Elmer Fudd dressed like Men in Black and shoot out one of the Monstars' teeth, or having like one of the hoops lined with freaking dynamite. I thought that was so funny. Or, trying to think, what was the other one they did? Like, it's so hilarious. Like, apparently, I think they put like a rocket in another guy's pants and he gets shot up. It's so funny. And he like a whippy curse thing that was so funny. It's like, ew. Or, I thought this was funny, where I think it was Sylvester using a fishing pole to sort of go fishing, and he pulls the big bulky one, basically pulls his shorts. Michael Jordan thought it was so hilarious. Yeah, it's so funny. And eventually, like, they also do the whole Michael's secret stuff. That's when they do the whole thing of like pumping up. Yeah, just water. Yeah, there is an actual thing of this in real life. It's really terrible. Yes, I actually did try it when I was younger. The Michael Jordan secret stuff. Someone brought it to elementary school, and I tried it. It was awful, like really really bad. And whatever the stuff was, it was not what it was moving, just water. Mhm. Yep. And of course, well, we have Wayne Knight overhearing like the Monstars. And now Wayne Knight, his character is simply put sort of like a comedy relief, and he basically is like wearing like a tracksuit most of the time with a uniform underneath. So he gets burned by the Monstars. And of course, he overhears that apparently they're the ones who stole the power, the talents of the basketball players. Which, yeah, the viewer already knew about this. As for Michael Jordan, yeah, okay. So then, of course, we also have prior to like we also have Michael Jordan meeting Shaq Hammer, and of course makes a deal with him. It's like, and of course, yeah, this of course after they come back from break, and of course he goes to timeout. Of course, most of the time we see this guy, he's basically smoking a cigar, which I think is so funny. Which it's basically a stereotypical mobster, and he drews himself a little smoke in Michael Jordan's face. Makes a deal with him. It's like Michael Jordan's deal is like, okay, if he wins, you get fans back his talent. Will we win? Will you win? You get me. And of course, you have this whole thing of him being chains, which I know that's an allegory for racism. I have no idea. And Michael Jordan accepts the deal. Yep, and then we have the worst happen. The Monstars beat up the Looney Tunes even terribly, with the exception of like Bugs Bunny and like a couple others. Yeah, everybody gets basically heavily bandaged up. So eventually, Wayne Knight's character, what is his character's name? I have the thing up here. Wayne Knight, Stan. Yeah, Stan basically goes on, plays briefly, And then he gets squished by the Monstars. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then like all hope is lost, and all of a sudden Bill Murray shows up. Yep, asks for how the heck got there. Yeah, the joke is like the producer's a friend of his, a job, and you have one of the monsters just basically look like, what? What the heck is this? What is a comedian actor doing here? even Shock Cameron basically shocked by this, so they got to figure out a way to do this one last shot. So, like, it's Looney Tunes work. I do whatever he wants. So, Michael Jordan shoots, like, almost goes for a slam dunk. And then the monsters are pulling him down. So, he basically just stretches out his arm, which, by the way, you can do this in the Space Jam video game. He stretches his arm, and everybody's, like, shocked to see us that Michael Jordan can spend so much time here. Apparently, he stretches his arm like halfway down the freaking court, like he's freaking Mr. Fantastic, and shoots that basket, and the Looney Tunes win, which is so funny and cool. And of course, he gets mad, and Shotgun was like, huh, like go to the moon, and then of course, like he's like, I think he cheated. And then it's like, then of course the monsters get insulted. They put him in a rocket and send him straight to the moon. It's like, okay, you guys lost, get back to powers. Okay, so they touch the basketball. And they get turned back to normal. And then, of course, the Michael Jordan runs into goes to the other basketball players. Apparently, these 5 players were suspended because of, like, apparently they were acting really terribly. So, they apparently got their talents back. Of course, they all touch this magical, like, apparently all their talent inside this one basketball. And I think it was Muggsy basically said that, looked like something out of Star Trek, which I thought was so funny because just by sheer coincidence, the very same year this movie came out, First Contact came out. Mm-hmm. Yep. And of course, they touch the ball, everything back normal. It says, he won't come back. Just really? And of course, this is after he comes back in the baseball game. Yep, it's like, oh crap, we're gonna be late for the baseball game. And of course, they come there via an alien spaceship. Everyone's like, and then staying out says, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Jordan. Of course, he's already dressed up and basically like ready to play. Mm-hmm. Then of course, like, and of course, it's like, you replace wait, you want to find out. Yep. I'm trying to figure this out though. I think he did have 2 runs. Like in the movie, he had it where he had 2 runs. Actually, yeah, he did have 2 runs, 3 runs actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah, first with the Bulls twice, and then the Washington Wizards. Yep. And Habs and basically resume his career with not wearing number 23. Yeah. They have him switch number. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think his number was like, yeah, definitely was here like 45. Mm-hmm. This overall is a fantastic movie for kids to watch. And surprisingly, for a movie that's very PG, there's like no foul language in here. It's just a pure, fun movie to watch. And the sequel's coming out in 2 years. Yep. Give this movie 10 out of 10. Really, really good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yep. Fun for all. Okay, so yeah, that's it for Cycle of You. One more video we do right now. Then I have like 3 or 4 more videos to say. Next one is a comic corner. Yep. You'll find out what the trailers are next. Okay, see you there. Bye.